Hey everyone, it's Aware One here for today's dose of world awareness, right? Because it's not just about cryptocurrencies anymore. Clearly, much of the cryptocurrency world has taken a back burner to something else on the global stage. I think we all know what we're talking about and what I'm talking about, and we're probably all sick of hearing about it, right? I know here in California, in the United States, we've been on a shelter-in-place order for a couple of weeks now. Luckily for me, I still get to work. Like, my job is deemed necessary. So that's pleasant for me. It's unfortunate for a lot of other people out there. I mean, restaurant workers, retail workers, so many people already. Just what they've reported is now 10 million people in the last 2 weeks have filed for unemployment. So this is bad, right? Bad. This is There's so much is going to change from this. I know there's people out there talking about, and like, this is good. It'll all go back to normal soon. Like, we all need to start accepting, have an adult conversation here and realize our world has changed. The world before is gone. The world now is in a flux, and the world in the future is yet to be discovered. And we are going through this process together, and it's important to realize, with that in mind, that everybody's going to be going through a grieving process. We're all going to have to bear with each other as we deal with this process in our own way, because it's going to be different for everybody, and you're just going to have to let everybody have a little bit more slack with how they're doing. And this doesn't excuse any kind of violence or those kinds of things directed towards other people. That can't be stood for. But some people, if anybody doesn't know the 5 stages of grief, there's denial, anger, depression, bargaining, and acceptance. Again, denial, anger, depression, bargaining, acceptance. Learn those 5 stages well, and just start to pay attention to everybody around you, and you might find that they're in one of these stages. Acceptance is when you kind of get to, like, what I'm trying to talk about right here is, like, this is world 2.0, right? The internet changed the world, and we are now going into Terra 2.0, Gaia 2.0. Gaia, don't use Gaia. There's a channel and all that stuff. Anybody that knows the spiritual stuff knows the Gaia word. But we'll say Terra, because that's a different word for Earth. Terra 2.0, because it's different. I know there could be like so many past Terras, but we don't know that, right? This Terra, our current iteration, the train we've been on since 1945, when World War II and all that was kind of wrapping up. New world, okay? It's that significant of an event that we're going through right now. Even if the coronavirus doesn't get too bad, which who knows? Who knows how bad it is? Everybody's trying to say it's not this, it's that. It's gonna be the new flu, right? It just might be a little more deadly. Now, I'm not saying that it's like the flu. I mean, it's gonna be coming around every year, like the flu comes around every year for all of us. It might be something like that, okay? Let's just put that to the side. It started with China. China shut down for a month or two. Not all of China, not all of it, like 75%, even 50% of China. One section of China with some important places shut down, okay? That cannot happen in the world as it existed, Terra 1.0. That was a no-no in the system before. That's why the system has changed. It is now evolving into a new system because that broke it. Right now in America, what is the American economy built on? It's built on consumerism. How's that working out for us right now? How's consumerism going? Nobody's going out to buy anything. Nobody's going out to work to earn money. Broken. The system is broken. We all need to have this adult conversation and realize we're not going back to that past place. I was talking with my coworkers the other day, and I helped lead like a grounding session. And it's like, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, get in a comfortable position. Now, Vision yourself in front of you and realize that's you right now, dealing with this crazy flux, FLUX flux of our energy in the world is changing, and you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going to happen. That's you. See another you to your left. That's the you in the past. Everything before, say like February of this year. Before that you. See that you, just happy, maybe not so happy with their life, whatever. It's you, but you knew that world. Come back to the middle. See this present you. Confused. Some of us will want to go back to this past us and try and look at the world from there. That's really not going to make any sense. That might be the denial phase, all right? But just a lot of people are going to do that because we all have to deal with this perception in our own unique way, all right? But in your mind, you're seeing now. Come back to the middle of you. Now I want you to go to the right of that and see another you that's like in the future. Maybe a month, a year, 2 years in the future that has gone through all of this. And like just feel what that you knows, all that it's been through, but the knowledge and the strength. And try and pull on that more than the one over here. Because we are entering a new world and a new you. This middle you right now that you're envisioning is confused. I know, it's all right. It's normal. We'll all get through this together, but we have to acknowledge that this process is occurring. And this is, again, a mental exercise if you're doing it and your eyes are still closed. See the one on the right. And if you ever, like, kind of get in struggling right now with what's going on, think of this you in the future on the right that's gotten through this and see if you can't channel some of that energy. Just kind of pull it towards you, the knowledge, the assurance, and know, yeah, I can get through this. Because, again, we're going to Terra 2.0, right? You can't do what's being done and not have a big effect. And it's debatable what will kill more people, if the virus is real or not real, whatever. I'm not going to debate that. I prepared, like I've said for years, every chart I've ever looked at has this pattern, except for one chart. Every chart goes, the one chart that doesn't go is the human population chart. So I was predicting about 10 billion. We kind of beep and have a correction. This is the word I'm using, the scientific word, correction. What corrects? I don't know. Goes down. I think we might have started some of that process. It already started because we've been declining in birth rate around most of the countries around the world, except for like down in Africa, maybe India. I'm not sure. Anyways, we are transitioning to something new. And to wrap in the cryptocurrency aspect of it, like part of what broke, again, what's the American economy built on? Consumerism. What's not working right now? Consumerism. So that economy is broke. Now, the American economy is kind of run on the American dollar, which also happens to be the global reserve currency. Thus, the global economy is broke. All right? Them's just the facts. Now, as they're doing right now, the Fed can print money. Yes. And they might give it to us. And even if we're just locked down for April, they'll give us that money. But has anybody else noticed that some of the things in the stores are starting to go down? Yeah. And, okay, there's the essentials, so we can buy the essentials with that money. They can give us a bunch more money too, right? And we'll be like, yeah, money! But we're still locked down. What are we supposed to buy with this money that they're giving us? Are we just supposed to pay our bills? Because in that sense, then we're just being given money that we can give back to the banks because we got to pay our bills. So it's just kind of like a different way of getting more money to the banks. we're not going to be out working, making more things, offering more. In America, it's offering services because we're a service-based economy now. We don't produce all that much anymore. We're definitely not offering services right now except for delivery, right? So all the money we're getting it's not. Are you going to hold on to it? Some people might, but do you trust that? I mean, so the things that are available will then become more valuable because there's more money. And it's like, well, if there's more money, we can charge more. So inflation happens. So again, we can't not be out there doing stuff for our economy to function. And even if they give us money, it's just going to make matters worse in the long run. So do we stay down, or do we go out? Do we fight the virus? I'm practicing para-immunity. Like, I'm taking a lot of vitamin C, chaga mushrooms, trying to build up and I've been on a health kick for years now. I'm a massage therapist, aside being a mental therapist in the past, massage therapist now, a spiritual coach, all these different things. I fast every month. I do lots of things for my health. So I'm on top of my game as much as I can be. I'm not worried on that front. I'm invested in the cryptocurrencies because I think we're actively, a lot of this, you want to get a little in the conspiracy side of things, we're in the active transition over to a new economy. Active transition. And this is where you're going to get into, like, here's a sidebar. And this is getting into these different communities around. Like, you got the QAnon communities, you got the general progressive or liberal side, and you just got, like, the general population overall, which they got this, they have a perception of the virus, and as it progresses, they might be more open to the idea of martial law. Because, again, the general population, I talked about this before, as much as 85% of people just want to follow the laws and get along with the dominant, like, hierarchy because they just want to do their lives. Now, what's got me more interested is this other side, the people that will usually, like, object to martial law. And that's especially, like, the libertarian Q types. And they're even calling, because they have their understanding of what's going on, and, this is a takedown and all that. And I'm not debating on it. I don't know the future. I have lots of guesses. I say it's not written yet. So anybody that talks with such certainty about how it is, even for what I'm saying, again, another sidebar, I always tell my partner's children, don't believe everything your friends tell you, because a lot of times they're wrong. And anybody, your friends, especially me, I tell them, I'm like, don't just believe what I'm telling you all the time as if it's a fact, because just my own experience, like, people don't know all that much that's truth. And we say a lot of things that we just heard. So, even these people that are like, they love their guns and their independence are kind of like, yeah, martial law, they'll get theirs, they don't know, wink, wink. And I'm like, so everybody is going to be okay with martial law. And that's what I'm like, look with this light above my head. Bing! Idea. Like, I get suspicious when everybody's saying the same thing. That's just my own way. Again, and that's when, like, climate change. No, you can't get 97% of anybody to agree on anything. Sorry. So that's what, like, that's their selling point. 97% of, no, scientists don't agree on anything that much. Sorry. But I digress. They have a clear plan to, like, potentially roll out martial law just to help keep things calm. And this is over a virus. That's all right. But prior to this virus, the world's global economy and the economy here in the U.S. was on shaky grounds. I mean, we already had $22 trillion worth of debt. Trillions is real money. Like, that's real money. And the 22 trillion, like, the bailout in 2008 was 700 billion. That's almost laughable now. It's like, oh, it's just 700 billion? We just spent that. We just spent 2 trillion. In 2008 it was 700 billion. And they had to go to Congress, and at first Congress was like, no. And then things got bad, and then they're like, okay. We just spent 2 trillion, and that's just that. They've already spent a couple other trillion in the repo market and all these other things that we can get into another day because that's a complicated conversation. Now, the economy was already broken. The world caught a virus, and now it's really broken. Like, everybody knows it's broken. They're saying it's because of the virus, but no, this has been coming since 2008. Now, things might get bad. That's why the National Guard's out there. But again, they wouldn't be already in that state if there wasn't a potentially something like, all right, we're transitioning and things might get a little rough, and that's why, yeah, that's my theory. I mean, I don't know the future, but I'm just analyzing all these different things I see, and it's interesting what's happening around the world. It's harder to buy things. Things as we knew it have changed, and yeah, it's a new world, folks. Again, I do believe cryptocurrencies are having their own part in this future thing. As we're seeing, they're already having difficulties really getting money to small banks. Part of this most recent, in the what is it, CARES Act, the $2 trillion that they just signed over, the part that goes to small businesses, and some of the stipulations, like a lot of these banks, they will only give to businesses that have a pre-existing loan. So if you're a well-functioning business that didn't have any debt and didn't take out a loan with a bank, you're not going to get this money from these banks because, so there's going to be all these kinds of difficulties, and you see these like 5-week delays, potentially months, getting the money to people. Just the $1,200 check that we're all supposed to get. If that keeps continuing, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, they'll be like, oh, we need a more efficient system. Let's do a digital dollar. And it's interesting that it was the Democrats that put a digital dollar thing in their first little bill that got kind of pushed out. I wasn't expecting that from the Democrats. That's interesting. But they already floated it out there. And the Treasury, they hired somebody recently that came over from Coinbase, which was like the top U.S.-based exchange. It's an interesting coincidence. I'm just saying, like, our old system's clearly inefficient. They're going to have to try and deliver it through people with their direct deposit from their tax returns. So if you didn't file a tax return, you're asked out on that one, right? So yeah, they're going to use it. This is just, it's perfectly lining up to like roll out a new infrastructure. And they've been throwing out, okay, we've been having the whole infrastructure talk over the last few years, right? We need to rebuild our infrastructure. And we're all like, yeah, we need to rebuild our roads. We need to rebuild our freeways and all that, our waterworks and all that stuff. And like, yeah, infrastructure. And I'm like, what about our financial infrastructure? Because nobody ever talks about that. But what if we're revamping that too? Shh, right? So these are just my ramblings. I'm kind of going off right now. I haven't made a video in a while. I just haven't really felt like it. But, wake up. There's something happening more than just this illness. You don't just tell the whole world to stay home. I mean, we're adults, some of us. So, yeah. Keep an eye on what's going on. Gold might go up. Yeah, they're printing way too much money for people to not be getting suspicious. And I'm getting a little upset at the general population for being this gullible to like not be asking a little bit more questions about this whole thing. Even our whole financial system, people just go along with it and don't realize it. And just they're going to try and placate you with giving you free money. But don't become a dependent, abused domestic partner, all right? Where you're dependent upon your significant other for the money, you can't leave, and they beat the crap out of you and treat you like shit, all right? That can happen on a societal level to a group of people, and if we're not careful, that can happen to us. I'm all for like helping people, help with like things like health and the basic getting by, but we all need to have some purpose and do a little work in life and be doing something, or else we're not really evolving ourselves or contributing to society as a whole. And it seems like these diseases might take out people that are like that. Like, I'm not saying anything against old people. I love my old people. It's horrible that this happens. It affects old people more. And who knows? I think potentially the second wave will really come and show how much it's not just the old people that get attacked. They were just more vulnerable. But again, people that actually put a little effort in it, that's what it is. Like I'm not saying I'm like how I am. I fast every month. I do lots of stuff to be healthy. I work full time in my job. I give to other people and try and contribute to people that have less than me and just need some support. And that's what I do. I try and give back in that way. And I fight to take care of myself. People that put a little bit more effort into life, I think, will be all right with this. It's the people that need a little kick in the butt, a little wake-up call, that are going to get a little bit more of a rough time with any kind of disease and all this transition. It's not about what you do, it's about being aware of what you do. And right now, we all need to be aware that we're going through an immense change. Again, denial, anger, depression, bargaining, acceptance. We're all going to be going through it because the world has changed. Accept that. What is it? It's not about what you do, it's about being aware of what you do. Number one, awareness. Number two, acceptance. That's the fifth stage of the grief process, acceptance. So under that, it's like you want to make a list. Number one, awareness. And there could be sub-dots under awareness. I'll get to those someday. Under acceptance, sub-dots. These 5 stages equal acceptance. Intention. I intend to harden my body up to fight off any kind of disease that I come in contact with. I intend to get through this process in a level-headed manner without hurting the ones that I love or the people around me. I intend to better my life in this process. If I have downtime, I will find something to learn. I will improve myself. If I got laid off, I will take this time to learn a new job skill. If the remote job becomes the new norm, I will learn some new skills that allow me to find a new remote job. I know people can get all offended when you learn to code, but I'm learning to code just for the fun of it. I don't really want to. I just started, but it's like, ugh. I can talk to people. I can count some. No, push your brain. Change, grow your mind. We live in a digital world now. I've had so many digital meetings now. That might become the new norm. Get used to that. Create a YouTube channel. Try and help somebody out. I intend to better myself. I intend to make the most of the situation rather than wallowing in the loss of what's past. I'm not saying just ignore it, push past it, and don't experience what's going on. Do all that, take it in, and at some point, intend something new. Awareness, acceptance, intention, action. Do those things. Struggle. Realize, people don't realize it when you're a kid. Why a lot of kids don't like learning. But learning something new makes your brain grow, change, and it hurts. Like working out hurts, makes you sore. It happens up here too. Most people learn to avoid that. Embrace it right now. Embrace it. Action. We're going to be going through a change. Your brain is going to be going through changes because you had very specific set schedules and patterns before, and those have been broken. And your brain was wired in those patterns, and that's been broken. So you're going to be irritable. Don't take it out on your loved ones. Domestic violence calls are going up. Please, people, deep breaths, meditation. Try and get sun if you can. I know we're not supposed to go outside. Find some way to de-stress that isn't taking it out on somebody else. Awareness, acceptance, intention, action. And number 5, my favorite. Oh, I hate number 5. Patience. We all need patience right now. We're locked down until May 3rd. It's, April 2nd right now? No, it's April 3rd. That's another month of this. Again, not a whole lot has changed for me. I mean, I still work. I see only one of my clients, and they might be coming back on because they're like, yeah, we need, like, I still see all my clients because they're like, yes, they need the relief. They're caretakers, that kind of thing. I'm lucky. I still have a job. I'm grateful. Be grateful for whatever situation you're in, because that is which is going to provide you the growth to go forward into this world. If you've lost your job, as horrible as it sounds, be grateful, because you've just been woken up. We've all mass awakening, right? Mass, like, how do you get somebody to change a pattern? Again, they have to be aware of it, right? They have to do something different. They have to do it for 21 days. How long are we all going to be locked down? This is going to cause change in all of us. It's going to be significant. Just be aware of this reality and do the best to help your fellow human. Okay? Awareness, acceptance, intention, action, patience. Again, the stages of grief: denial, anger, depression, bargaining, acceptance. Be aware and watch for these things in your fellow people around you. If you can, be a little bit more compassionate, but help everybody know, like, we are transitioning to something else. You can call it whatever you want to call it. We are moving to a new system, and I believe cryptocurrencies are going to be part of that future. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Algorand or something, Tezos, Stellar Lumens, Ripple, Dash. So many. There's so many things going to happen. They're already putting bonds and stuff on the Ethereum blockchain. The decentralized economy is forming so that you can't attack a government or anything to get at people's money. If there's changes in the economy, changes in social populace, like the calm riots and stuff like that. We got climate change or whatever, volcanoes, earthquakes, people, migration already. Europe is all its migration. Like, with all this moving around, you can't be lugging around heavy metals like silver or gold. Banks are just stupid and they don't talk to each other. You want to go from here to another country, good luck getting your money, right? Cryptocurrencies, digital assets you can have on your smartphone, which now even poor people can get, right, with an Obama phone. That's interesting. Like, all around the world, this thing can get you access, and pretty soon they'll have some kind of system set up beyond 5G, because that's kind of being a bungle. 6G, satellites, quantum computing, who knows? Some other form of communication where you can have your whole life on a cell phone and maybe a chip, which they'll put in your body, or half the people are like, oh, that's the mark of the beast, I'm going to take it in, and there'll be this battle with that, and they'll be like, how about you just wear this jewelry that has a chip in it, and people are like, okay. I don't know. Like, it's not going to be what anybody expects. This, I call it the matrix that we live, whatever, the heavenly abode of earth. This place, I call it this place. This place teaches us lessons, helps us grow, and never gives us exactly what we were trying to get, but we get kind of what we wanted, all right? And be careful what you want sometimes. But, yeah. For you, yeah, okay. For the last, 2 years, it's all been climate change, Greta Thunberg, we're bad, humans are bad, we need to kill it, we need to depopulate the planet and all this stuff. And I'm like, be careful what you wish for. Now the economies are shut down, we're not putting off all this pollution like they wanted. How does it feel? Yeah, be careful what we're all trying to collectively manifest, because sometimes it comes true. All right. All right, people. Awareness, acceptance, intention, action, and patience. It's not about what you do. It's about being aware of what you do in these times. And right now, we all just got to realize that we're going through it, right? We're going through it as a species, as a planet, as a collective. And maybe it'll help us unite and bring us all together. And hopefully it doesn't, too many of us don't have to die in this process. But if we all kind of be more adult about it and be aware and accept what's actually occurring, and maybe kind of come to some place where we can have a conversation about it, we can move forward in a peaceful way. All right. That's your crypto awareness. Hopefully I'll do more videos and stuff. You guys take care. It's not about what you do. It's about being aware of what you do.